Starting map is Treasure Island. In terms of map bands, Recon banned Coastal and Eery banned Great Lake. And then Recon banned Eerie's Celts and Eery banned Recon's Persia. So they can't play those civilizations. But we will start this series off with probably the most played matchup in Project Celeste. Celts against Egypt. Recon bringing his Celts, which is quite a surprise to me actually. Don't see him play the Civ that often. He's more of a defensive player, I guess relatively speaking. And Celts are a very aggressive civilization. On the other side of the map we have Eery, playing the Egyptians. Probably one of his best civs. He was also to a large extent responsible for making the Rex play popular. So making lots of barracks and spamming those units with some priestesses to heal. So Eery is our seed 3 for this tournament, and Recon is the seed 2. So Recon already has won a tournament. Eery has to prove himself this time around. But to get to the finals, he will first have to get through Recon. That's not an easy task at all. So as always, players can restart the game within the first 2 minutes, if they want to. I should probably be checking a bit for whether the spawn is balanced. So 2 hunts for Recon. I think having a second hunt this far away is still no reason to restart the game. There's one here as well, which she killed. So spawn may be a bit in favor of Recon, but nothing critical. You can see Recon setting his waypoint for the spearman next to his hunt to defend. Very likely to be aggressive, crossing the map. That's exactly what he will do. Let's see what he has scouted so far. Scout is coming around just now. Let's take his vision. He's just now spotting the base, finding the hunt. He sees the 2 spearmen. There's also some crocodiles in the middle of the map. Actually decides to go around, maybe poke in for the wood line. There's already a wall being built here, very nice by Recon to prevent something like that from happening. And it looks like Recon is going on the second hunt. Spears are coming to defend. They're kind of in between the 2 hunts, not necessarily in position for defending either one. And Eery doesn't know about this hunt on the left, so I think Recon will be fine to defend here. His spears are also faster than the Egyptian spears. Looks like Eery is going straight for the villagers. Is he? He's just forced to back off. 6 against 4. Let's see. Back at home. Eery edging up, building his temple. Got the 4 villagers on stone. He's gathered stone a lot earlier than Recon. No sign of any stone for Recon at all, actually. Because we see a 1 TC here. He's microing his spearmen to make sure he catches every single one of them. And not have one big clump of spears running in the back. So very nice using this speed advantage. This one may get away. Wow, 4 spears. Looks like they're all going down. Oh, this one survives with 15 HP. But there's 8 spears left for Recon, and I guess there will be X-Men soon. But there's a small window where Recon is able to do some damage. Oh, this villager, I don't think... Uh-oh. Oh no, this... Slight miss micro there by Eery, losing his priestess and an X-Men. I think 1 villager, 1 priestess and an X-Men is a lot of damage already. Recon instead going for a dock and also a town center, it seems. So doing some nice damage, but of course he will be having his town center a bit later. Eery is already building it. The scout is also very low HP, just 1 or 2 hits. Recon might notice that and kill it off. Eery really needs some gold to remake some priestesses. Right, so now there's anti-infantry out. We have the 4 axemen. Recon just got H2. He has 1 long swordsman of himself. Still 6 spears survived. Pretty good. Whatever happened to that one low HP spear? I think it got eaten by crocodiles somewhere. So we have this dog. Let's see if Eery knows about it. He has no idea. And his scout is really low HP. Seems like he doesn't want to risk it dying and rather save it for a bit for now. Heal it up maybe. Recon already going to his 3rd hunt. Just hit the 300 stone he needs for town center, but he doesn't have the wood at all. He's sitting at 70 wood. Could maybe cancel this fishing boat if he would want to, but yeah, you need some more wood. So far he's fine. Eery is able to pump out villagers faster. But keep in mind that these villagers will train a little bit slower. Because there has not been a priestess yet. So the villager count right now, 25 for Eery, 28 for Recon. So Recon actually ahead by 3 villagers. He has 3 fishing boats. So Recon taking a lead in this game, I would say. Let's look at the production for both these players. Oh, actually this is more interesting. Not sure if this was something Recon scouted or just a lucky find. But Recon with a constant military advantage. He does need to do a bit better job in spending his resources though. 1200 food in the bank already at the 7-minute mark. It can't be happening. This is risky. I would just shoot this scout with the fishing boat. Right, so Eery going for the Rex play. 3 Rex are up. I don't think he will be making a stable. Recon just has the 2 Rex right now. He's only now building his town center. Quite low. He's chasing down this scout. Eery did remake those priestesses and will be making a bunch more. To have some in-combat healing. Oh, the scout died. Let's see, it did manage to scout at the duck, right? Yeah, so still some value in the scout. Recon making sure that there's no duck on Eery's side of the map. So far the water seems to be uncontested. And there's a hole in this wood line. Oh no. Some lost gathering time for some units. Eery actually making a lot of slingers. If you look at the population, Eery spending his resources a bit better. These Egyptian units do train a little bit faster and are a bit cheaper, but a 20 pop advantage at this stage of the game. Recon really needs to spend some food or take some guys off food. I think there's still some hunters here, yeah. Eery is not gonna give him the time to do that. I like how he's making use of this water advantage. 5 fishing boats, you got the upgrade. But this is a scary force. 2 priestesses. Alright, so Recon is trying to buy a lot of things all together. Also an armory already going up. Just making his first druids, some slingers. Oh, he has 1 druid already. So this is a much larger force by Eery. Splitting off his army. So the half goes to the right. See how Recon responds to this. So it looks like Recon will just try and kill this part. See some villagers going down here. Recon not quite housed. Nice split by Eery. And he's kind of losing some units here, but he's getting a barracks here on this side of the map. Just making Recon run around. Recon getting his first armory upgrade. Melee damage. Did manage to make some more units now. It's still behind 40 population. He's going H3. Looks like I think he may have needed some more production earlier on to spend his resources. And losing that barracks also doesn't help in that regard. Does that give you anxiety in the chat? Good to see you. And Recon taking a fight here. He does have an armory lead here, but he's aging at the same time. Looks like he's doing just fine actually. Wow. So got a villager count, 56 against 50. So Eery actually ahead after that. I guess a few villagers died over here, but maybe some idle time. If you look at Recon's space, he's currently not producing from this town center. So Recon taking the fight, and he's also H3. He's getting longswordsman champion, upgrading his longswordsman. He's finding these 7 villages on this side. Good reaction time by by Eery. Recon doesn't even notice it yet. Let's see if Eery has an armory yet. He's building one right now, and he's behind in armory. 2 upgrades so far. Recon also getting Slinger Champion and Gift of Sequana, which is a really good upgrade for your druids, making them heal a bit more. I'm still a little bit worried about this population difference, but these upgrades will surely help. Some road raiders in queue, I like it. See, his area is now maxed. Is he going H3 himself? Doesn't seem like it quite yet. He doesn't have the resources, I think. Should be going up soon as well and getting that X-Men champion some splash damage. In the meantime, Recon's building a 3rd town center here on this gold mine. Be able to have a market line in the late game. He's also spreading some units here, building some watch posts, ensuring that he has the water. Maybe he will even make some merchant transports for gold, which are actually not too bad nowadays. Not often made though. Here we're just getting his first upgrade. Yeah, I think Recon, despite having a smaller army, is just such an upgrade advantage. I mean, longswordsman champion, 2 armory upgrades, slinger champion. Look at the speed on the slingers, 8 speed. Oh, and they're hitting the slingers of Eery as well. This is a much better position for Eery. Lots of these units are clumped up in the back. I think this is where he has to back off. All the X-Men have died almost, only 6 left in the screen. See, he must be going H3. Yeah, there he is. So H3 right now. Looking to get that X-Men champion. He still needs a little bit of gold. He is staying maxed. He's making some spearmen even. Recon even has the health upgrade for the druids. And this is really not where Eery wants to fight, I would say. Kind of needs to wait until his X-Men champion. He has some safe gold over here. Not sure if Recon knows about this. No, Recon has no idea. But these trades seem to be going in Recon's favor. There's the X-Men champion. Will it be too late when it's finished? This is the first series of the day. We have 4 series planned today. There's been some difficulty logging in, so if everyone that has to play today make sure the alternative way of logging in works for him, it would be great. So Striker and Zertan, if you could ensure that you can log in the way we did. That's the series after this. That's just a lot of World Raiders. X-Men champion is done now. I mean, Eery kind of survived. And now he has X-Men with splash damage. And at this point these longswordsmen start to lose a lot of their value, I would say. As a Celt player, you kind of want to transition in maybe a bowman ball or some more horsemen or... There's one villager building a fort here. Oh, this might get denied even if Recon is not careful. He's raiding on the top. These are some beautiful raids. Another fortress going on here. And same kind of goes for Eery. He wants to transition out of these slingers, I think. So many road raiders on the field. This raiding party is doing work, man. What's the villager count? 76 against 96. So Recon. So he set up his market line as well already. 73 gold only. I would say he's ahead in this game. 20 villagers ahead. He's got lots of economic upgrades as well. Let's take a look at the armory. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He's getting his 4th upgrade. Here he has all the 3 from H2. And looks like it's gonna be a battle for gold. There's 1500 gold here. And there's 1500 gold left here. But after that, Eery will run out. And looks like Recon has his plan is to deny this gold. Contesting both sides. Looks like Eery can defend here. Eery not making any more villagers either. Looks like 72 will be the number that he will go for. And he has less villagers, but also weaker economic upgrades if you compare storehouse tax. So looking very good for Recon. For some reason he can't get maxed. So Eery's army is actually a lot bigger right now. He's 20 pop ahead and 20 villagers down. So 40 population army lead. Okay, there we go. Queuing up some units. Where are they though? This seems like a really small army. Guess that's the downside of playing with less villagers. Not a lot of population. Recon actually responding to this with sending his own units in. Kind of a base trade here. One town center goes down. All villagers seem to have been saved. But the market line is shut down a bit now. Maybe it's a good call for Recon because he has a lot of melee units, high damage road raiders. Well, There's 42 slingers over here. He's denying the gold over here. He's denying the gold over here. I think maybe he still has 14 guys on gold. I think that's these guys. I like how Recon is saving his villagers. He's still at 95, even though... okay, now some will die. Let's take a look at how he's doing. Seems to be that Eery is defending a lot better, actually. Staying maxed. He is dropping his score a little bit. Ooh, and these ramps killing his production is quite annoying. For some reason he was able to defend, gather gold here, and have a massive army in recon space. Not sure how that happened. Looks like Recon is going for this gold on the left now. He's quickly gathering this himself, very smart. There's only 300 in it left. I think the gold is going to be a big problem for Eery. This one actually ran out as well. Where is he going to go now? Recon has been gathering that one. If Recon would want to, he could go to the island. Gather the gold there. I think he's building a market. Eery is selling his resources. He's actually spending 350 gold on Slinger Champion. I'm not sure how I feel about this in the current situation. And here comes the cleanup crew for Recon. And it's mainly slingers. It's not looking good for Eery. He's actually sitting at 55 villagers, so... Okay, Recon lost 20 villagers as well, but... It looks like Recon is getting the better end of this deal. Space is kind of safe now. She actually went for a forward market. And I think this is the last army that Eery can afford, because where will he make more? So let me repeat the vetoes these guys had. So in terms of maps, Recon banned Coastal and Eery banned Great Lake, and Recon banned Eery's Celts and Eery banned Recon's Persia. But this game seems pretty over to me. This market won't even go up. What you gonna do? Run! Right, I think here comes the death blow. Eery is selling some of his wood, but by this time he's not getting a lot of wood for his gold. I think this move on the left is really what made a big difference in this game. We shouldn't count Eery out. He is the comeback king after all. Recon is not looking too strong either. His market line, I guess he's getting 42 over here. He's not yet maxed, but he will be soon. Yeah, and basically Eery's last stand here. Did not manage to get any access to gold. He could have also made a dock himself and went for the island. But think he should have made a market line a bit earlier in this game. Not sure, what is your take on that? So we're gonna have Eery pick a new map. Let's change the score. Take a look at these stats. So Recon, he got his town center up a bit later, but he got a fishing boat, got a villager early on, and was never really behind in villagers. Up until the 10th minute mark, it seems, where he was a little bit behind. Yeah, and then from the 16th minute mark on, we saw this big difference in villagers. So Eery had a bigger army, but he wasn't quite able to achieve with it what he wanted. So if we look at the current resources gathered, 12,000 difference almost. Probably mainly near the end of the game, this difference was established. Recon having doubled the tax. Yeah, I think the storehouse tax also mattered a lot. Recon a bit more on top of his economy in terms of that, and also armory. The armory just got destroyed, it seems like, but Recon almost had every single H3. And then finally units killed. 600 against 400, so quite a big difference there as well. Recon taking a bit better engagements. So let's get into the next game. So as you can see on the schedule, after this we have Zerton against Striker. Striker here yet. If you guys see him, make sure that he can also log in with the new web. So we can start this game right after. And on the schedule you can see the rest of the series that we have for today, 4 in total. So the winner of this series will advance to the High Garden Finals, which is the last series of today. But for now, let's see who takes this. Eery picking Arabia. He banned Recon's Persia, and now he picks Persia himself. Recon actually determined to go for a hunt, and this is a really far hunt. Just playing the Babylonian civilization, which is really strong on this large, boomy map. But Persia also has a very strong cavalry force. This is what happened. I think Recon scouted this first. He's talking in the chat about this map. Just gonna see if he wants a restart, but it doesn't seem like he needs that. He's fine with hunting all the way over here. Gathering some wood here. Yeah, probably the start will be very boomy. Both players going town center first. Here we're getting a nice 2-for-1 storehouse over here. Yeah, they're scouting each other out. Eery making sure there's no spearman rush coming or anything. He sees the stone. He knows Recon is going town center first as well. Let's take a look at these spawns for these guys. So nice back passage here for Eery. Place a market over here or maybe here, and it will be pretty safe. Actually, we'll probably go around the top side, but not a bad spawn at all. But Recon spawn, look at this. The entire back of the map is free. You can just have caravans going back and forth here. So that's really good for him, getting the lucky end. What about the entrances? Pretty big entrance here for Recon. Second big one in the middle. Only 2 entrances. So his markets would also be very safe. Eery, 1 entrance here.
Ahura Master bless you.
And 1 entrance here. Thanks for the follow, Tonio. And Eery has a 3rd passage over here. Right, so where would be a good place for a town center? This seems like a juicy position. I think it's a little too far apart for a town center, but maybe not. Look at this. Eery actually going for the safe way. He doesn't quite trust Recon, I would say. He thinks there may be a hidden spear somewhere. Doesn't want to take the risk of building a town center like here and then suddenly there's like 5 spears. Recon's trying to find this town center, but he's looking at this spot himself as well. Let's see what he does. Does not know about the town center for Eery yet. Oh, there's a stoneman here as well. So this is it's gonna be the spot of choice. You see Eery scout coming by. Not in time to block this position, sadly. Recon just returning without knowing where the town center is. Already walling up. What a player.
Ahura Master bless you.
Alright, it looks like Eery's going for the stables. Finally some action. 2 villagers to build the stables. And I'm pretty sure seeing this on Recon's side of the map is bringing his villagers back home. Wouldn't be surprised if he drops down an early market with this spawn. He's been experimenting with going for early markets. But there's already a Sabara out, so he may want to go for a barracks. He's actually building a stables. Keep in mind he did not scout this, so he has no idea what Eery is going for. Kind of working in the blind here. Of course, also building those gardens that will help reduce his training time of all buildings and research time. So the Sabara arrives at the front door. These clay walls only have 1000 HP, so it won't take long. I think actually what you can do in this situation is select your Asabara and click on the villager and it will be able to hit through the wall. Maybe not, looks like he tried it. Of course, if you have lancers, they have a small range and they can actually fight over this wall, so don't see why he would not attack back. There's a lot of Asabara coming In the meantime, Eery added the second stables. It's actually over here. Maybe it was up this whole time. So triple stable for Eery. We can also double stable. Looks like he's going for the cavalry army as well. When this wall breaks down, but there's already 4 lancers against 7 Asabara. No, he has to run away. Villager goes down, gets 1 shot. This villager is also very exposed. He's going for the ox cart. He's taking some hits there. Now it's 6 against 5. 2 more come in. But Asabara are really strong. I really think Rikan may have needed the barracks there to defend against this. Only 4 lancers left. Still 9 Asabara. Wow. 4th stable being added. It's only just the 2 stables. And we do have the early market. But will he be able to defend it with only lancers? Very nicely, Eery's going around to spot it. He's getting so many villager kills. 43 villagers for Eery against the 49 for Recon. So wow, such a big difference. Maybe the gardens and these 2 caravans make a big difference, but looks like Recon is just going for more stables. Eery knows about the market. He's going to commit this entire force of Asabaras to defending that. So Eery actually getting a lot done ahead in population. I think he will be going age 3 soon. So many stables. With 15 Asabara against 12 Lancers. Oh, there's even more. Yeah, that looks like Eery hit quite a nice timing. We can actually going age 3 here. He's looking to get some mounted archers, which will counter these Asabara, but if he loses his army in the meantime, he's wisely getting 8 and oh, actually that's Eery. So Recon holding on. These gardens helping a little bit in getting to age 3 faster. He only has the 2 gardens. Oh, actually there's some forward gardens here. Only stables as well. So probably a lot of mounted archers. Actually, yeah. No, lens. Okay. Expected some mounted archers. And there they are. But this Asabara force is growing really large. Expect to see an armory by now from Eery. "63 villagers against the 60, so taking into account ox carts, they're still even on villagers. And Recon is age 3, so we'll be able to build this 3rd town center soon. Almost has the resources for it. It's building up a nice mounted archer count, sitting at 5 right now. Eery very smart, leaving 1 Asabara behind. There have been 2 caravans here. It's probably driving Recon crazy with the idle villager button, showing up as idle villagers. It looks like Eery will be finally scared off. He's going age 3 himself now, he's getting some stone. walling off hard. Going for markets himself. Let's see what else he decides to get. Maybe an armory. Would like to see an armory from these guys at this point. Recon on the other hand, doing some more gardens. And this is a nice position for Recon. A lot more of his units can hit in this small choke because the lancers have one range. And the mounted archers can of course shoot over units. Recon also investing in Lancer Champion. Getting some more economic upgrades. He's getting his third town center here, so he will have this perfect market line. Just a bit later than he had intended to. One thing I'm expecting from Eery is Sabara Champion. Does need a lot more gold though. But a really good upgrade. Sabara is such a good unit anyway. There's the armory. And Eery finding himself in a maze of walls. It's not no small choke where you can pass through here. Maybe here. No, I don't think so. There we have the Sabara Champion. So Recon is maxed right now. Let's see what he decides to do. Maybe push out. He does have a lot of anti-cav now. Eery's force is still only Sabara. Some mounted archers being trained, but this is still Sabara. Oh, and looks like Recon may get caught here in the middle. If he can find a nice position in between the trees where he can fight. A more choky position would be a lot better for him than fighting here in the open, I would say. Should not underestimate the power of these Asabaras. Even though the mounted archers are safe. There are 19 mounted archers though. That's a lot of anti-cav. Two Asabaras getting caught here. Somehow surviving. Let's get the stable tax. So this is one small oversight by Eery. Doesn't have any speed upgrades for his cav, so Recon does have these. He's getting the H3 one now, so his cav force will actually be faster, I think. Like how Recon is spreading his units to not hit a single wall segment, that actually spread the damage. And here you can see how fast you can knock down a wall if you actually do that. But now Eery has transitioned into some mounted archers of his own. Let's get a villager count. 87 for Eery against the 84 for Recon. Recon actually going H4 already. So he will be adding some war chariots to his composition. All the Asabara have died. It seems like Recon is winning this fight despite aging up. He's also ahead in army upgrades. Eery is just getting his first, his second now. Recon getting his fourth one already. So small upgrade lead here. And this is pretty bad. Recon is in the market line of Eery. Killing off these caravans. Villager count is still quite equal, but keep in mind that Recon has these gardens which are giving him food this whole time. Nice micro by Eery. I think he's killing a bit more units here than Recon is. this is a really bad position for Eery. His entire gold income is being targeted. He does have some gold mines back at home. He's gathering from gold over here. So it's not like he will be out of gold, but losing all your caravans kind of hurts. I mean, look at Recon's caravan line. He has like only 6 or something. Ooh, and there's a proxy siege workshop somewhere. So Recon kind of getting stuck with this army. Still not trading too poorly, I'd say. He's losing a lot of units, so he's currently out of gold. These 6 caravans are not gonna cut it for remaxing. So spend a lot of resources on edge 4. Let's see, he did make some more units. We do have some war chariots on the field already. These units getting cleaned up. But that's a lot of ramps that are building up here. He's gonna have 7 ramps in a bit. There they go. And Recon has no idea about this. He's just rallying all his units across the map. I think. Is he even able to make some more units? It's gold. This caravan route gives 133. It does have the upgrade already. Let's see, what about Eery's market line? 77 only. It can't be right. Guess it should task them on this town center and get a lot more gold. So here come the ramps. 6 already, but the entire army for Recon is here. And no units for Eery just yet. I think it would have been better if these rams arrived at the same time as the army, but still, there are so many of them that at least some will be able to do some damage. Hit this town center maybe. Or maybe not. Recon getting total war in the meantime. Very nice upgrades, very important to get as Babylon in H4. 10% damage for all your military units. Just really strong. Recon still not able to max. He did start gathering some gold now. Don't think I can click this now. It's over here. And he does have a fort. So maybe we will see some Palantonans. Eery is not stopping though. He's continuing to make some ramps. Did get spotted though. Recon slightly ahead in villagers. It seems like Recon is able to afford a bit more of these upgrades. He got the final stable tech. Sitting at like 5 armory upgrades ahead of Eery. Eery is still H3. But definitely not out of this game. There's a massive force here. 28 Asabara. Looks like Recon had the same plans here. Building a siege workshop. Yeah, Spaniard says in the chat, pretty close match. Yeah, I don't. I'm 1 minute ahead of you and I still can't call it. Who's going to take this one? I do know that if Eery loses this match, he's out of the tournament and Recon advances to the finals. So, tournament life on the line here. Needs to just task these units to hit this wall and the wall will go down faster. There's the h4 for Eery. He really needs to retask his caravans as well.
Ahura Mazda bless you.
Sub daylighting. We're securing some map control in the middle with these forts. Eery kind of getting his army caught here, it seems. May want to wait for h4 and some upgrades. Let's see, does Eery know about this? Eery has full vision of this thanks to this watch post. It's a small gap in the wall here. Striker says, just hope someone will build a wonder. It may not be a bad idea to go for a wonder. Especially for Recon. Recon can just sell some food and wood, and buy some stone and gold and have a wonder. Oh, and here comes the Asabara flank. It's mainly ranged units here for Recon. Just got a nice tight position here. Kind of difficult to path here for the Asabara. And Eery's population is plummeting. Reinforcements are coming in, but down 70 population now, and his market line is in front, and he just taps out. Wow. Ended quicker than I think most of us expected. We come with a clean 2-0. Yeah, so these semifinals are only best of 3. Zertan did suggest to make these best of 5. What do you think? Should next time we play a tournament like this, should the semifinals be best of 5 or best of 3? Okay, let me. Looks like Eery can't quite get into the game. Let me quickly get this sorted. I'll check the stats first in a bit. We should have Zertan against Striker coming up shortly. Alright, so we're getting Eery sorted. He was planned to cast the next game. He seems to be having some issues logging in. Maybe the Spaniards will figure it out. Let's first check these stats. So, looking at the current villager production here. Very boomy game. Town center first. You can check the town center timings. We can actually, almost 40 seconds later, current military population seem to be going quite equal. At the start, some very nice trades for recon, and then recon kind of getting caught. Not sure where this was, but overall some pretty good engagements from recon. We should see that reflected in the units killed. Wow, 226 against 95 only. Okay, Persia's units are a bit more expensive, but still, this is a pretty big difference. It saved recon a lot of money not having to replenish his units, and as a result he could afford Edge 4 a bit earlier, get some more upgrades. He was really on point with his upgrades. Look at this, getting the last Edge 4 melee attack. Already had Pierce attack maxed out, so these units were doing the max damage they can. Total War also in there. Very nice. Let's see what other ziggurat upgrades did he get. I didn't get this one. This is also Iron Wheels, also kind of a nice one to get. Improving the health of your war chariots and your siege towers. Which he was also building some siege towers here. So recon getting only 10,000 more. Lots more tax. No. So let's get into the